October of 2009, a pickup truck was found abandoned on a remote mountain road in Latimer County, Oklahoma. Inside, police found a starving, emaciated dog, an envelope containing $32,000 in cash, the IDs and cell phones of a family of 3, and a deeply unsettling trail of unanswered questions. Bobby Jamison, his wife Sherilynn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madyson had completely vanished into the dense woods of the Sans Bois Mountains. What initially looked like a sudden disappearance quickly unfurled into one of the most labyrinthine and disturbing mysteries in modern American true crime. To understand how the Jamisons ended up on that isolated mountain, we have to look at the months leading up to October 2009. From the outside, they were a regular family living in Eufaula, Oklahoma. But behind closed doors, their lives were spiraling into chaos. Bobby was dealing with severe, debilitating back pain from a past car accident, which fueled depression and anxiety. Both Bobby and Sherilynn began losing weight rapidly, their behavior becoming increasingly erratic and paranoid. They told friends and their local pastor that their home was haunted by spirits, claiming that Madyson was talking to the ghost of a child who had died in the house decades earlier. The paranoia deepened. Sherilynn purchased a handgun, convinced that they were being watched by unknown entities. Bobby allegedly approached his pastor, asking for a special spiritual manual to help cleanse the property of demons. By late autumn, the couple decided they needed a fresh start. They chose to look at a 40-acre plot of land in the rugged, isolated hills of Latimer County, hoping to buy a storage container and convert it into a home far away from the town. On October 8th, they loaded up their truck and drove into the mountains. They were never seen alive again. 8 days later, deer hunters stumbled upon their abandoned truck. The vehicle was locked. When investigators opened it, the scene raised immediate red flags. The family's beloved dog, Maisie, was trapped inside, near death from dehydration. The cash, their wallets, and their phones were all left behind. There was no sign of a struggle, no blood, and no forced entry. It was as if the family had simply stepped away from the vehicle and dissolved into the treeline. A massive search operation was launched, utilizing hundreds of volunteers, drones, and cadaver dogs. But the dense brush and unforgiving terrain yielded absolutely nothing. As investigators dug into the family's background, they uncovered a home security video recorded the morning the Jamisons left for the mountains. The footage, captured by their own surveillance system, is profoundly chilling. It shows Bobby and Sherilynn walking back and forth from their house to the truck in a silent, trance-like state. They move rigidly, rarely speaking to one another, stopping and staring into space for long periods. At times, they pack items only to unpack them again. The discovery of the video ignited a wave of theories. Some investigators believe the couple's erratic behavior and extreme weight loss pointed toward methamphetamine use, suggesting a drug deal gone wrong in an area of Oklahoma known for illicit labs. Others pointed to a bitter, ongoing lawsuit between Bobby and his father, which involved death threats and allegations of heavy-handed intimidation. There was also Sherilynn's handwritten journal, found in the truck, which contained pages of furious, disjointed rants directed at her husband, suggesting severe domestic turmoil. The mystery took a grim and definitive turn 4 years later. In November 2013, a group of hunters walking through the woods just 3 miles from where the truck had been abandoned discovered human remains. Because of the state of decomposition, identification took months, but forensic testing ultimately confirmed the worst. They belonged to Bobby, Sherilynn, and little Madyson. The bodies were found lying side by side, face down in the dirt. Because the remains had been exposed to the elements for 4 years, the medical examiner was forced to rule the cause of death as undetermined. There were no obvious signs of trauma, no bullet fragments, and no broken bones. The discovery answered where the Jamison family was, but it failed to answer how or why they died. Were they victims of a targeted execution? Did they succumb to a murder-suicide driven by a shared, paranoid delusion? Or did they simply get lost in the unforgiving wilderness, falling victim to hypothermia? To this day, the empty mountain road in Latimer County holds its secrets, leaving the tragedy of the Jamison family forever unresolved. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.